Hi folks, Charlie Shelton with Disneyland News Today, back once again to try some tasty treats. We're here at Disney California Adventure today. It is Halloween time, and I'm ready for the new foods that can be found all across DCA. Join me on this culinary tour of all the Halloween treats at Disney California Adventure. All right, so first stop of the day on Buena Vista Street is at Fiddler Piper and Practical Cafe for the Worms and Dirt Cake. This is a chocolate cake with raspberry filling and a mocha mousse topped with gummy worms and a Oogie Boogie decoration. This Oogie Boogie decoration is melting quickly in this heat, but it's just white chocolate. All right, let's try this cake. Wow, that's good. Boy, that's rich and sweet, but not overly so, and the raspberry does come through. That mocha mousse is light and fluffy, but also thick enough to be satisfying. You know, it's not, it doesn't, like some mousse just kind of melts away into nothingness. This has a little more body than that, but it's still light enough, and I'm still happy with it. And this cake is just so dense. It could be, it could be a little moister of the cake, you know, but with the raspberry center, it helps it along and gives it that bright pop of fruit flavor to cut through all the sweet and creamy of everything else. This is really good. It's a long line to get into Fiddler Piper and Practical, especially here in the morning, but it's worth it. All right, well, I could eat that whole thing right now. We have a long way to go. All right, so next up is Clarabelle's, and we have a couple of new sundaes here and also a pumpkin pie float. This is hard pumpkin chai cider, vanilla ice cream, and a spiced pie crust cookie. And it's adorable, but it is hot, so it's starting to fade already. That's a pie crust cookie, and it is layered. You can see that's something different. Oh wow, that is pie crust covered in sugar. Huh. That's interesting. I like that. Oh, all right, so this is the pumpkin chai cider. Okay. It's very tart. It's very tart, and it hits you up front with the tartness. It's a little, for as sweet as everything is, and as I'm expecting it to be sweet, to be that tart is a little strange at first, but the flavor is really good and it works well as a cider. And then to add the ice cream to it is just a nice touch to, you know, give it some body and make it a little creamy. Yeah, I feel like the more I drink of this, the better it's gonna be. It's not something I think I would have thought to put as a float, but it works well in that the sweetness or the tartness is tempered by the sweetness and the creaminess of the ice cream. So that's kind of nice. I'm surprised at how much I like that. I really, at first blush, I didn't think I was going to enjoy that, but that's really nice. All right, let's move into some ice cream. I got the chocolate brownie sundae. This is a fudge brownie, Rocky Road ice cream and hot fudge, and a hard chocolate shell, served in a chocolate dipped waffle cup and topped with white chocolate and chocolate puffs. So this it's like a chocolate sundae. You know, it's got a lot of different variations of chocolate. I also, of course, got it in the cute little Maleficent Halloween bowl, which is new for the season. They've got a lot of different kinds of these bowls. And one fun thing that a buddy of mine showed me is the ears fold down. I was carrying around these bowls with the ears up and trying to be so careful. They fold down for storage. So it's nice, and then you can take it around the park. So anyway, I took it out of the bowl for this. So I don't want to get chocolate everywhere. Let's give it a shot. Oh, the chocolate shell. So it's like magic shell syrup. So it solidifies and it's a hard chocolate on top. Huh. I haven't had magic shell in forever. Okay. That makes it really good. That takes it up a notch in that it's not just an ice cream sundae. It's something a little bit more, because now it's all become almost like a brittle. It all kind of holds together. The chocolate puffs and the white chocolate chips are all in the hard chocolate shell to have one big candy that you eat the ice cream out of as you go. I like this. This is like a more well thought out chocolate sundae. All right, so let's try this brownie here. This thing is an absolute mess on such a hot day. The brownie's only okay. Oddly enough, the brownie is the weakest link and everything else hangs together really well. All right, well, that one's done. On to our last one. This is the cereal sundae. This is a vanilla and strawberry ice cream with berry compote, mixed cereal, and whipped cream served in a waffle cup and topped with fruity cereal. And it's really colorful and cute. I think this is gonna be, I'm not a huge Fruity Pebbles fan, and that seems like it's kind of the base of this, but let's see. Oh, that berry compote is great. That berry compote is fantastic. And the strawberry ice cream is good. The vanilla is kind of a nice base, but wow, I really enjoy that. That's just a nice sundae. I know they're trying to mix in the Fruity Pebbles cereal, topping it with cereal, making it a cereal sundae. That doesn't really bring much to it. I think it's more just, it's a nice strawberry and vanilla sundae with a really good fruit compote. In fact, I wish there was more fruit compote. It's there between the scoops of ice cream. I wish there was more of it because it's so good. I feel like that they should build the sundae around that fruit compote and the fruit, the strawberry fruit ice cream rather than going the cereal route, because that's really the star of the show. That compote is so good and fresh. It's nice to have actual fresh fruit instead of everything out of a can. It just does wonders for something like this. Even though the strawberries in the ice cream are heavily processed, having that little bit of fruit, even if it's just a couple of real blueberries, really just gives it a character that makes it more enjoyable and a little fresher and just overall better. That's really good. I like that a lot. And I think they did it well. It's just, named poorly, marketed poorly. So, alrighty, on to the next. All right, our next stop is Grizzly Peak, and we're here at Smoke Jumper's Grill for the green chili double burger. This is 2 Angus beef patties, roasted green chili salsa, and purple cabbage slaw, served with poblano cheese dipping sauce, and choice of crinkle cut fries or onion rings. We went for onion rings. So this looks great. I'm a little weirded out by the side of dipping cheese. That's just something I haven't seen before, but I'll give it a shot. Let's try this very wet, messy burger. That salsa's good. That salsa's really good. The slaw, it's a purple cabbage slaw, and it's kind of tangy, but it doesn't bring a whole lot of extra flavor. It just brings that vinegar tang to it. which I don't know that it needs because the salsa is already a little tangy, and it's got not a lot of heat, but a lot of that chili flavor, which is really good. It comes together well. It is very wet and very messy, and I don't know how I feel about it, like texturally, but flavor-wise, it's fantastic. Now let's try this poblano cheese sauce that comes in a cup on the side. Let's try that, and I'm pouring cheese directly onto my cheese burger. Oh. That's amazing. Wow. The poblano chili cheese sauce, poblano cheese dipping sauce paired with the green chili salsa, that's something special. This is really good. I hate to say it, but I'm actually surprised to have something really good coming out of Smoke Jumpers because, you know, the last several times that I've been here has been only okay at best. And so for something that, you know, this is more than okay, this is something I would travel across the park for. This is a good flavor combination. I mean, you know, the beef patties are just frozen beef patties that you would get at, you know, a bulk buy store, but all the stuff that goes on top of it really makes it that much better. That's fantastic. Also, I could put this poblano cheese on anything and it would be just as good. Wow, that's great. Well, I could eat that whole thing right now. I still have a long way to go, but I could eat that. You know, I have to try with the onion rings. That's even better. Oh. That poblano cheese is so good. It's more than nacho cheese. Like I'm sure it's a nacho cheese base, but there's so much more flavor to it from those poblano chilies that brings a roundness to it. It kind of takes away that artificial edge that I hate about nacho cheese. It makes it more palatable and more complex, and I want to take another bite. It's not just a one-note song. That's really, really good. All right, I have to move on. Boy, that's good. All right, next up is the mint shake. This is a mint shake topped with whipped cream, chocolate cookie crumbles, gummy body parts, and chocolate-covered snack cake. So anytime you can put a snack cake on something, that automatically makes it better. So there that is. So it's like a Boo Boo Lubu snack cake, just like a little sponge cake with a little bit of raspberry or strawberry filling. And then we've got some gummy body parts here. I've got an eye. I guess that ties it into Halloween, but like drinking a mint drink, I would imagine it's Christmassy flavored, you know, just like the zombie gingerbread man over at the Grand Californian Hotel holiday cart. You're eating the gingerbread and you're thinking Christmas. So drinking this mint shake, that's something I associate with Christmas, even though it has gummy body parts to try and signify Halloween. But yeah, it's just a mint ice cream shake. Not even mint chip, just mint. There's no like chocolate intermix. It's just straight green all the way through. Yeah, without the chocolate or anything else to go with it, it's kind of like a toothpaste shake. My favorite part is the snack cake, and I'm glad I have that. But after being so heavily wowed by the green chili burger, that's a little bit of a letdown. You know, it's just not, it's not a good mint ice cream to start with. And if it's not going to be a good ice cream, it's not going to be a good shake. This is just straight green mint that is unimpressive. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. All right, so next up is the peanut candy churro. This is from the Grizzly Peak churro cart. This is a churro rolled in peanut powder, sugar, and crushed peanuts drizzled with peanut butter sauce. I'm not as big a peanut butter fan as some people. I mean, it's fine. I like peanut butter and jelly and all that, but I feel like peanut butter in sweets is not my favorite. So I am going to preface this with not a huge peanut butter fan. So I don't know. I just don't know. Let's try it. Huh. Okay. Well, I was wrong. That's delicious. That's really good. It's probably not something I would have ordered if I wasn't reviewing it for you. I wouldn't have ordered this in my real life, but I would have missed out because this is actually really good. The churro works well with the peanut powder. It kind of gives it a bit more heft and a little more life than just the fried dough. And it's still sweet and nice, and the peanut butter sauce drizzle works well. It's sweet enough without being overpowering. And then dusted with peanuts on top there. This is really good. I'm surprised at how good this is. I get the peanut character, but it's not overpowering. It's you know, a nice topping to a churro. It's still definitely a churro, but I do get the peanut character to it. That's really nice. That's really well balanced. And I'm glad to say that I was wrong. And this is very enjoyable. All right, here we go, on to the next. All right, so from the faraway land of Hollywood, we are here in Hollywoodland for award wieners and schmoozies. We're gonna start at schmoozies with the blood orange shake. This is a blood orange shake with orange sugar and whipped topping and strawberry sauce. And it has a cute little dehydrated orange. This is one of the more picturesque snacks that we've had so far. It's actually just beautiful. So it is rather warm today, so it's melting already, but I want to get to it early on. That's really nice. That it tastes almost like a citrus swirl from Florida. Like it's just slightly more strong than you know, just like a regular orange flavor. That's nice. It's not as sharp as the citrus swirl, because that's just like straight orange juice, frozen orange juice. This is definitely creamier and more palatable, I think. It's like, I know I'm gonna make Florida people angry, but I think this might be one step up from a citrus swirl. I don't know if I should say that. This is really good. So the whipped topping is more like a Cool Whip than a whipped cream. And that strawberry sauce is just great. I mean, you can see on the side from the strawberry sauce all the little seeds from the strawberries. So, you know, it's more than just a red sauce. It's creamier and more delicate of a flavor than like a citrus swirl, but it's still got that very orange oil flavor, you know, like that citrus tang that's not quite a full-on orange flavor. It's just that little hint of citrus oil. That's really good. All right, well, before it melts too much. Okay, moving on. Now, at award wieners, we have a spicy pulled pork footlong hot dog. This is sweet and spicy pulled pork with a fiery tropical chutney served on a toasted bun. And it comes with film strip fries. And these are my favorite fries in the park. So anytime any dish can come with film strip fries, I'm happy about it. So this thing is just ridiculous. There's so much more hot dog than bun It's a foot-long hot dog. They didn't say anything about a foot-long bun. So I'm gonna trim a little bit of this just so I can get to some of the actual toppings without a 45-minute overture of hot dog. All right, and like everything in LA, it's coated in cilantro. I'm gonna get rid of that because cilantro is my arch nemesis. All right, let's give this a shot. Oh. Ooh, that is spicy. That's so several times over the last couple of days we've seen, you know, spicy or ghost pepper or something on the menu and it turns out to not be that spicy. This has a little kick to it. I like spicy food, so I enjoy that, but if you're not a fan of spicy, this isn't one of those things where you can just be like, well, it's, you know, whatever, and push past it. This has got a little bit of heat to it, but it is very pleasant. It's not overwhelming. And that tropical chutney is so interesting. It's all kind of stewed down together, so it's hard to say what specifically it is. I mean, obviously I can see the like chunks of pineapple in it and stuff, but I'm not getting a lot of the pineapple flavor. It's just kind of an overall stewed fruit flavor that works in almost as a sauce on the pulled pork. That's really good. I think it's better even without the hot dog. Like if I could just have that on a plate, but you know, with the hot dog, it's a nice topping. The heat is starting to grow. Again, still not terrible, but it is getting up there. And then these buns that they do here are just great. This is like the best hot dog bun you're ever gonna find. Yeah, that's really good, and that's much better than the other pulled pork dog they had here before this one. Was a little bit of a letdown. Like the pork wasn't really great and the hot dog is only okay. This seems like, makes that one seem like a trial run. Like this is what they were supposed to get to. This is well done and I'm enjoying it. I think maybe it's because there's more going on than just having to focus on the pulled pork, which is kind of lost in here. Like I know it's there, but it's not a really prevalent flavor. It's overtaken by the spice and the stewed fruit and the sauces and everything. So I'm not noticing the pulled pork quite as much as I did with the other footlong hot dog. And maybe that's what's working in its favor. But either way, this is a better version and I really thoroughly enjoyed this one. All right, so next up is from the Hollywood churro cart. This is the sour candy churro. It's a sour sugar dusted churro topped with a sweet watermelon icing. So historically, I haven't been a huge fan of the icing covered churros, but I've been proven wrong several times in the last few weeks of some of the things that have come out here at the resort, including some of the ones that have come out today have been pretty good. So I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and we'll give it a shot. Weird. I love it. That's so weird. It's so sour. It's like a watermelon warhead. It's so sour, but that sweet watermelon icing, it's like throwing me for a loop. That is the weirdest churro I have ever had. And I'm just so into it. I'm so interested. Like it's off-putting, but I want more of it. I can't, that's so weird. I can't put my finger on it. That sweet watermelon icing is great, and there is a hefty dose of sour sugar, which is just sugar and citric acid, powdered citric acid, like from a Sour Patch Kid. But there's a lot of it on there, and it is very sour. but it's offset by that sweetness and then the natural, you know, like the little bit of sugary saltness, salty of the fried churro. That is a really unique combination of flavors that I don't think I've ever had anything like that before. Like, it's better than a sweet and sour candy. This is its own thing. It works so well as a churro. And like, I immediately dislike it and also love it at the same time. I can't really explain it. It shouldn't be sour, but I just need to eat like 6 of them to figure it out because there's so much going on. That's really interesting. That's so weird. I love that. Wow. All right, well, I'm thrown for a loop. We still have a ways to go. On to the next. All right, time for fall in Avengers Campus. At PIM Tasting Lab, we have the snack molecules, and inside PIM Test Kitchen, we have the Butter Pecan Cold Brew. This is Experiment 27. It is butter pecan flavored cold brew topped with candied pecans. All right, so it's very warm and it's starting to melt already, but let's give it a shot. That's good. The coffee comes through. I'm not getting a whole lot of butter pecan. It's very creamy and nice, and it's layered, as you can see. Yeah, I mean, I smell the candied pecans. It smells very nice, but it's not a very strong flavor, which is okay, because I'm kind of feeling just a coffee right now. It's midday, and I just want a little pick-me-up. And this coffee comes through really well, unlike some of the other ones we've had so far where the coffee is overwhelmed. This one comes through really nicely. So I do like that aspect. It just isn't super butter pecan, which is, okay, it's enough. It's subtle, it's there, it's just not overpowering. Yeah, it's pleasant, and it's understated would be a good word. It's there, it's just not super strong, and that's not a bad thing. I guess I'm just used to it being a little more present from some of the other cold brews that we've had so far. So this is the other item here in Avengers Campus. This is the new snack molecules. They do these seasonally, just changing them. They did an Easter one and different options. This one is flavored popcorn, mini pretzels, honey roasted peanuts, and popped sorghum with mini peanut butter candies. So this is, the popcorn is heavily coated, which is really nice. It's like a little caramel corn. And it's got a little kick to it. I wouldn't go all the way to spicy, but it's got a little kick to it, a little bit of chili powder or something. And then as I was looking at this, I'm not seeing anything that I would call like a peanut butter candy, but there are these little inclusions here that are coating the peanuts. And so I think that may be what they're talking about. It's almost like a piece of soft caramel with peanuts inside. And those are sweet and chewy and help to break up some of the texture. If you're here in the mood for popcorn, there's a lot of different options at Disneyland, and for the price of this and the size of this, it just very rarely seems like a good enough value. Like, there's nothing, they're not bringing enough to the table with the snack mix, with the snack molecules, to make it worthwhile. It's just popcorn and pretzels for the price, for the elevated price. There are so many different types of popcorn here. Colorful popcorn, caramel corn. There's fresh caramel corn on Buena Vista Street. Just the regular Disneyland popcorn is great. There are so many different options here that this always just kind of feels gimmicky in trying to market a bar mix, but there's not anything really special about it other than it's popcorn and pretzels at the same time. If that's what you're in the mood for, then I'm sure it's going to hit the mark. But every time I've had it so far, from season to season, always lets me down. It's never quite enough, and having, you know, the addition of honeycomb cereal or something like that, it just doesn't bring a whole lot to it. So the cold brew is good though. So there is definitely a reason to stop by, and there's so many other great things to eat at the test kitchen and at the tasting lab. There's so many great options. This, I think, just isn't really among the better ones. So, all right, let's move on. Alrighty, next stop is Pacific Wharf Cafe, and here we have a pastrami sandwich. This is a pastrami sandwich with ghost pepper cheese sauce and house-made sauerkraut on a toasted French roll. It also came with a side of chips, so it's Halloween, so we have a ghost pepper cheese sauce. It's kind of falling apart here. It's real pastrami, real cut pastrami. Let's give it a shot. That's amazing. This thing is great. The pastrami is really nice. You know, it's like aged in corn, so I don't know if it's like fresh. I don't think fresh is the right word. I don't think that's a word I want to use, but like, it tastes real. You know, this isn't cold cuts that came from a package. This tastes a little bit better than that, and it may have been, you know, prepared off-site or something, but it's real pastrami with real grain to the meat and everything, and you definitely taste the difference versus something, you know, like a packed processed cold cut. That ghost pepper sauce, not as spicy as would be implied by, you know, ghost peppers. Ghost peppers are very, very hot, and this cheese sauce is not a lot of the things that say ghost pepper that we've seen so far in both parks. Is not that hot. So this has a tiny little tickle at the back of your throat, but it's nothing overwhelming, it's nothing overpowering. I wouldn't be afraid of it, and granted, I like spicy food, so having a little tickle is pleasant, and it's, you know, I could even go for a little bit more, but if you're not a fan of spicy food, if a little tiny bit of spice is your limit, then this is kind of your limit. But there's not a whole lot of other flavors than, like, you know, pepper and cheese. It's not super complex. It's just a good cheese sauce, a white cheese sauce that pairs well with the pastrami. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on. It's a good white pepper or white cheese sauce with the ghost pepper and hearty pastrami, a little bit of this purple slaw, but, you know, it's unassuming and it's good at what it does. It's just a fine pastrami sandwich. That's really pleasant, and I think so many of the other offerings park-wide and you know, just a lot of the things that I've had in a lot of the places have been a lot of flavors and things thrown in together, not even necessarily like trying to drag you in different directions, just like you don't need 200 ingredients on something. You know, this sandwich has 3 ingredients, pastrami and cheese sauce and slaw, and that's enough. That it does its job. If you add anything else, it's just going to be superfluous. So this is really good at what it does. It knows what it is. It's just a good pastrami sandwich. I really enjoyed that. And now for dessert, we have chocolate espresso bread pudding with creme anglaise whipped topping, a gummy eyeball, and toasted pecans. I don't see a gummy eyeball on mine, but that's okay. You know, I'm not really here for the gummy eyeball. I'm here for the bread pudding. So let's give it a shot. Maybe it's, no, it's just not there. It's not under anything. So, ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, man. I'm a sucker for bread pudding. And this one, oh boy. That's so chocolatey and so rich. Wow, that's good. It's soft and gooey, and not only is there, chocolate mixed into the bread pudding, but then there's actual chocolate chips in the bread pudding that have melted. So in addition to the bread pudding, which itself is chocolate, you also have big doses of chocolate throughout. This is great. It's very rich. Like 3 bites in, and that's already like enough. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's a very rich, decadent dessert. But with so many other sweet things that I've had over the last couple of days here at the park, it's just a lot of sugar. And like, this would be good to split among 2 or 3 people. I think it's enough because it's so rich and it's so decadent. A little bit goes a long way. So it's good, value for the money, I guess. But like, this would be nice to split with someone if you're having lunch with someone or dinner, then you can split this for dessert, and it would be a nice amount. You wouldn't be overstuffed. Alrighty, well, both of those were great. This is no notes. This was fantastic. All right, let's head on to the next. All right, so our last stop in Pacific Wharf is at the Cappuccino Cart, sponsored by Joffrey's. We have a pumpkin bundt cake. This is a pumpkin flavored cake filled with dulce de leche and cream cheese frosting, finished with a chocolate stem and mousse leaf. And it is just adorable. Look at this little guy. This is great. Oh, ooh, it's got caramel on the bottom. This is very heavy. Wow. It's messy, but boy, is that good. Let me show you what the inside looks like. All right, let's take a look inside. So as you can see, it's full of caramel and there's plenty of frosting. Boy, that's good. It's so soft and delicate. It's sticky. The pumpkin cake is sticky. Like, it's so moist, it's sticky. That's fantastic. So each of the 2 miniature bundt cakes has the hollow filled with dulce de leche. As you can see there, it's yeah, there you go. So it's completely filled all the way through. There's no hollow of the bundt cake. They really made good use of space. That's really creamy, and the cream cheese, like the tanginess of the cream cheese, really works well with the pumpkin spice bundt cake. I am getting more than just a spice flavor. There is a bit of a pumpkin-y flavor to it and a sweetness. That's fantastic. It is rather small. I kind of wish this was a little bit larger, like something like that. But for what it is, the flavor is fantastic and I really enjoy it. That's one of the better treats that I've had so far. Also at Cappuccino Cart, we have the horchata cold brew. So I've got that right here. That's okay. That's good. I mean, if I was in the mood for horchata, I don't think it would precisely satisfy. If I was in the mood for a coffee, I don't think it would satisfy. But if you can't decide between the 2, it really is kind of in the middle. I do lose a lot of the coffee flavor, unfortunately, which is one of my things. Like, if I'm drinking a coffee drink, I really want to taste the coffee, especially at Joffrey's, where the coffee is so good. You could drink a black cup of coffee and be perfectly happy because it's a good cup of coffee. So to lose it so much in the creamy horchata, I kind of would like a little bit more of the coffee to come through. But, if you're in it for the horchata, then it's going to satisfy, I think, a little bit more than if you were in it for the coffee. They also offer this same thing with whiskey. So let's try that. Wow. So I guess it's just a float of whiskey on top, because it comes through a lot. It's good though. I wasn't expecting to like that. I would think mixing just a float of straight, you know, Irish whiskey into it would be overpowering and wouldn't gel well enough for what I want. But that actually, the flavors work really well together. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Again, I lose the coffee, but at this point it becomes a cocktail, so I don't really need the coffee flavor. It's just a spiked horchata. And if you're looking at it through that lens of just a spiked horchata, it's really good. You know, so I guess if you don't come in expecting coffee, it's not a problem. So that's really enjoyable. That's one of the better walk-around cocktails. I don't expect much from walk-around cocktails in the yellow cups like this that you see people carrying through the park. I don't expect much from those cocktails because they're usually just sugary and have no balance to them. This one's actually pretty good. I'm enjoying that, and if I had to go for a cocktail to walk around with, that would be it. So nearby to the cappuccino cart, to Joffrey's, is right at the mouth of Pixar Pier. So this serves as our transition into the Pixar Pier area. And our first stop in Pixar Pier is Jack Jack's Cookie Num Nums. And we have the shortbread cookie, which has new decorations this year. Cookie Num Nums is one of the better cookie stands you're gonna find in the park. It's, I think, better than the chocolate chip cookie that you get in bakery cases available resort-wide. But this is their shortbread cookie, and if I'm being honest, I haven't had it before. So this is my first experience with a Cookie Num Nums shortbread, so let's try it. It's good. I mean, it's a shortbread cookie. It kind of strikes me the same as a lot of the other shortbread cookies around property of, you know, it's kind of a known variable. You know exactly what the shortbread cookie is going to be like. If you've had one, you've had them all. And this one has a little bit more icing on top, and it is very cute. But it just, you know, if you're at Jack Jack's Cookie Num Nums and you have that delicious cookie, I mean, it's almost a cookie pie. If you're right there and you can get that, this just seems like a poor substitute. It's just a shortbread cookie. It's a well-done shortbread. It's nothing to really wow me, you know, but like if somebody brought out a plate of these for tea, I wouldn't be upset about it. It's just not something I think when I'm walking around Disneyland and I want to have a nice signature sweet treat, I don't think I would be reaching for this. I think this is a little lackluster when compared to everything else that's available here. So if you're going to Jack Jack's, they have better cookies there, and there are better cookies available around the parks, but this is similar to a lot of the other shortbread cookies you're going to find in bakery cases and whatnot. So that's our first step into Pixar Pier. We have a couple more places to visit, so let's hit those up. All right, next stop is Lamplight Lounge Boardwalk Dining. We are here for some new menu items. First, we have the Chili Ginger Pork Belly Sliders. This is chili ginger glazed crispy pork belly and Asian slaw on a baguette bun. It's a full baguette. It comes sliced into 3 pieces. And this looks awesome. So I can't wait. Let's go. I feel like the baguette kind of overpowers everything. Like there's so much bread that it's hard to get any of what's inside. I can tell that it's crispy fried and it's very fatty pork belly, which is what you want. I just don't think the flavors are strong enough to really come through. Even without the bun on its own, It's a very delicate flavor. It's tangy from the probably the glaze, the chili ginger glaze, but it's not really as strong of a flavor as I would like. It's not really forward with much of anything. So I mean, it's fine, but there are so many other options here that would wow you with their flavor and texture and everything. Like, this is such a great place to eat. This just seems kind of, I don't want to say flavorless. Looking at this, I would expect for it to be stronger in flavor and not so subdued. It's so subdued. So, yeah, it's a little underwhelming. Next up is the cucumber tamarind cocktail. This is Patron Silver Tequila, cucumber simple syrup, tamarind simple syrup, and fresh lime juice garnished with a marigold. So let's hope that this has a little bit more flavor to it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. Boy, that cucumber simple syrup really is interesting. That is a new, that's, I mean, I know it says it, but like, I wouldn't expect to enjoy cucumber simple syrup or for it to be so prevalent throughout this. That's really good. It's very complex. I don't lose the tequila entirely, which is nice if you're gonna do a good tequila. In a mixed drink, I wanna taste the good spirit. So I do have tequila, but it's not, there's no bite at the back of your throat. It's not astringent. That's really good. I don't get a lot of the tamarind. I think that's just giving it some of the body, but I don't get that tamarind flavor as much as the cucumber and the lime coming through. This is nice, and I know the marigold, ties it all together, but really this feels kind of like a summer drink more than a fall drink. This is something that's perfect for the 108 degree weather that we're having today, to sit on the patio overlooking the pier and drink this. This is Halloween in LA. So, well, a hit and a miss at Boardwalk. All right, that's everything we got. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed the video, please let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to keep the culinary tour going, join us over at Disneyland for everything they have that's new, and at the Grand Californian Hotel to take a look at their holiday cart. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time.